this morning's Festival of Fitness, and today we are going to do a fit class, which is my interpretation of a Pilates high intensity interval training. Okay, it is another hot sweaty day, so make sure that you've got some ventilation, make sure you've got a drink, make sure that you've got something to mop the sweaty brow. We're going to take a fairly low intensity today, so although it's called a high intensity class, we're going to go for 60 seconds work at a relatively steady state pace, and then a 30-second interval between, a rest interval between each exercise. Excuse me. And just because it is a little bit sweaty and hot and unpleasant. Of course, if you wanted to zizz it up a little bit, there's no reason why, if you watch it back again, that you time yourself and maybe do 40-20 or something like that. But we're going to do 60-30, which is a nice steady state to work at, and see how we get on. Okay, so we're going to start with a little warm-up to begin with, and we're literally just going to start with some nice shoulder rolls. Just loosen up all the joints before we start. And then we're going to bring those arms forward into little ripples and open out. So get the chest open, get the back muscles moving. Just a couple of little... Oh. And little arm floats overhead and circle out. And again. And go back the other way. Bringing the arms down. Just bending through the knees. Bringing those knees up one at a time. And down. And the other side, arm floats with it if you like. Maybe out to the side. Help the balance. And then point and lengthen. And then out to the side. And maybe behind as well. Whoop. Out to the side. And behind. And let's get ready to go. So, 60 seconds, we're going to start with a roll down, roll up. I'm not sure I've got enough room here. Make sure that your floor space is empty and that you're not going to trip over anything. We're just going to roll down, out to a plank and roll up to stand down. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of volume now so we can hear it. Are we ready? Here we go. So let's roll it down, walk it out, and walk it back, and roll it up, reach it up to the ceiling. And again, bend through the knees, drop down through the spine, bring yourself down to the floor. If you wanted to, you can add in a little press up, back to your plank, roll it up. Float those arms, roll it down, walk it out, a little press up, walk it back, oh and curl, almost there, and I'm going to do a press up this time. Excellent. Give that a bit more volume. So our second exercise, we're going to take ourselves down onto the floor. We're going to do turn the toes out, take the feet wide, turn the toes out, and we've got bridge knee squeezers. Draw those tummy muscles in, lift, squeeze those inner thighs together, and lower down. And again, lift, squeeze. Get those glute muscles working. Lift, squeeze. Really pushing through the back of the body here. Oh, lovely. Perfect. Excellent. Isn't that lovely? I can feel my glute muscles now. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going for plank and knee pulls this time. Now, if you're a little bit struggling with the plank, so there's your basic plank position. We're going to simply knee pull, sliding across the floor. So we're going to pull the knee into the chest. You could do a tabletop extend if you wanted. I find these quite hard and challenging to do. Okay, so knee pulls in and extending. Try not to lift your bum too high. Remember, knee pull, extend, nice and long. You go faster if you want to. Knee's quite hard enough. Halfway, how lovely. It seems like a long minute. So again, a little rest if you need to. Nothing to stop you. It's all about building up rather than actually busting a gut. Ooh. Okay, we're going to have a curl up next. Sweating already. So, keeping the feet on the floor, we're going to bring the arms overhead and curl up and touch our knees, or if we want to go into a full sit-up, we could do that. Are we ready? Keep those arms nice and wide. Float the arms up to our sit up, curl down, float the arms. Depends how much room you've got really. So you could just take the arms, you see my feet coming off the floor there. If you do find that your feet come off the floor, make the movement a bit smaller, build the strength. If you can't quite get your arms overhead, just come to the ceiling or wherever you can get to. Remembering that we're not arching the back. Lovely jubbly. Oh yeah. Got there. Oh. Perfect. Pulling with those tongue muscles, imagine that floor string. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Okay. Bring it round onto one side, and we're going to take ourselves into a side bend lift. We need to make sure that elbow is right underneath the shoulder and don't slump down, okay? So keep nice and long, top leg out straight or both legs bent if you need a slightly easier version. Okay? 4, 3, here we go. Just lift and lower. Up. Down. So that elbow is pointing to the ceiling. imagine there's a little string on the hip, drawing you up to the ceiling. And again, you can make this as hard or as easy as you like, so if you want to go with both legs bent, a little bit easier, both legs out straight, a lot harder, not even going to try this morning. Just lift and lower, adding maybe a mermaid stretch through the head, to give you a nice stretch through the side. Keep the head facing forward, try not to drop down so you get a neck ache. This is one where everybody always complains about their shoulder aching, and that's because we push that elbow. What we really want to do is draw with the centre. Beautiful. What we do on one side, we get to do on the other. Okay. Again, make sure we're lifted from underneath, pushing down into the hip rather than pushing down into the elbow. Here we go. And you'll find one side is much easier than the other. This is my easier side. Adding that mermaid stretch if you want a little bit extra. Nice to reach overhead. I'm sleeping on my mat today. How's that feeling? I'm beginning to feel it a little bit. Beautiful. Almost there. 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to go on to our tummies and do Pilates swimming, everybody's favourite. So either head on your hands, lot of kicking the legs, or take the arms out just slightly wider than your mat there, into a V shape, and we're going to do opposite arm and leg, slow or fast. So if you're going slow, just making sure you're not scooping the lower back. So imagine a nice cube under your belly button and draw your tummy off the floor. If you're extending, you can go a little bit, you can lengthen off the floor, making it a little bit more challenging. Or you could do that opposite arm leg, sliding the shoulder blades down the back and paddling away. Doing little bursts, using the breath. And just paddling. Or Pilates swimming. Don't think anybody swims like this. Keep it going. Make sure you're really lengthening out. Keep the shoulders down. Keep a smile. Not too bad, is it, this morning? Okay, we're going single leg stretches next. Now, just for a bit of fun today, I've brought myself a little softball along. I'm going to see if I can thread the ball. So, let's start with a basic single leg stretch. Let's go into our double knee fold position. I think I've got my trousers on inside out, but I don't know. Okay, start with this basic one. From here, we're going to pull one knee into the chest and stretch the other leg out. And we're going to remember that as we stretch out, we don't let the leg drop down, okay? So there's your basic single leg stretch. Because I want to add in a bit of fun to it, let's thread the ball under and over. So you'll probably see this exercise again next week when we do Pilates with all sorts of balls. I'm not sure you can say that on the live Facebooks, but you know what I mean. Okay, so we've got that little bit of extra, I'm going to change direction, threading the ball, and that adds in a little bit of stability now as we work to keep ourselves stable, keep the back neutral, and focus, not losing our form. I'm going to change direction again for that last view. Beautiful. Okay, crisscrosses next. So I'm going to keep my feet on the floor for this one. Bring my fingertips to my ears, or we can cross the arms across the chest. And we're going to do a little lift and cross, so we're looking past the outside edge of the knee. Don't hang onto your head and pull on your neck though. Make sure your fingertips are tickling your ears. Here we go. Crisscrossing over and back down. And we're making sure that we use those tummy muscles, really focus on drawing from the centre. Remember that drawstring on the top of your duffel bag there? And you're going to imagine that that's what it is, pulling you together, pulling the hips and the ribs together. So as I say, it is a very hot day, so I've got a fairly slow, steady pace today, but you can beat this up as hard as you like. You could take this into a double knee fold position if you want a little bit extra, and you can add in your single leg stretches as you crunch towards the opposite knee. You're trying to keep those elbows out wide and rotate through the waist. Beautiful. Okay, double leg stretches are next. Come on, that's a bit. So for this one, we're going to make sure we clamp the legs together in our double knee fold position. We're going to keep my head down for the moment. Make sure we really squeeze those legs together and get the bum muscles and the inner thighs working. And just pop my hands underneath my bum to support my back as I push away and pull back in. And again, just really reach those legs away and pull back in. So there are different versions of this exercise. We could curl up and hands are on the outside of the legs, and we extend the arms as we extend the legs. But to be honest, as my back is a little bit tight this week, I'm going to stick with the easier version, which isn't easy, and get my tummy muscles working. Just really focus on core work. The one thing I don't want to do is arch my back as I'm doing this. I don't want to put that pressure on my lower back. You could put cushion under your bum if you wanted to. Oh yeah. Doing that. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to do one for the hamstrings next. So I'm going to give you two options. Your easy option, we're going to slide out and lift the leg up. Just flex the foot there and lower down. Alternating legs. And you'll feel that in the back of your leg. Or if you're going to join me in the big scissor, I'm going to extend one leg up to the ceiling, one leg just off the floor there. Shoulder blades sliding down the back so I don't hunch up. And I'm just going to swap those legs over and really try and get that lovely length on the back of the leg. Isn't that lovely? I'm really feeling that one, very dynamic hamstring sort of movement there. I love this exercise, but my hamstrings, like my back, are very, very tight at the moment. Lockdown's done that to me. I spent such a long time working on my computer every day. I'm feeling quite squished. Bring the head down if you start to feel that in the neck. Oh those knees in, give that a little hug. And then last one, we're going to take ourselves around onto our tummy. And just a little hamstring curl for this one. Now this looks very simple, but we have to be careful that we don't tilt the pelvis. So, keeping the knees on the floor, we're going to curl the heels into the bum. And lengthen the legs. You can do single legs. We'll start with single so we can show tummy in, lengthen out through the legs. So you're squeezing the front of the leg and the bum muscle as you gently curl the heel into the bottom, flex the foot, do a little double bounce as you squeeze and lengthen away. Keep the shoulders relaxed on this one and focus on tummy and pelvis, staying neutral. Making it a little bit more challenging with those double knees, but remember, quite a lot of us will actually tilt the pelvis and arch the back as we do this. We have to be careful. Single, single, double, if you want to add in a bit of variety. Oops. Keep that pelvis neutral. And beautiful. So just push that back into a rest position. Give yourselves a little stretch out. And that's our last festival class this week. So I will see you all. Put that on. I will see you all next week for our finale week, and we have some brilliant, brilliant classes, some guest instructors, all sorts going on next week for the finale of our festival. So I hope you have an absolutely amazing day today. Let me have your comments below, let me know what you think of the workouts. And let me see you next week. Have a great, great weekend. Love you all. Thank you.